Okay, now it looks like the sound is working. Thank you for joining me this morning for a little shoulder opening practice. So I'm doing this one today without my sweatshirt so you can see the shoulders a little bit better. We're going to start today with a little breathing as we always do. Just getting present to the body and also present to the posture this morning. Posture has a huge impact on the shoulders. And as you lean forward, notice how your shoulders kind of round and close. And as you sit back with your head over your hips, notice how the chest opens and the shoulders hang nicely off the skeleton. And that's kind of really what we want to achieve, is to have the strength and the alignment so that you never have to squeeze your shoulders back, but you just want to allow them to be open naturally. So head over the hips, close your eyes for a moment and get present to your breath. Notice where your breath is in your body. Is it in your chest? Is it in your ribs? Is it in your belly? And see if you can breathe with your belly, and then the side ribs, and then the upper chest. And then a slow, long exhale. And this is yogic breathing. Breathing with your belly, then the side ribs, and then upper chest. And this long, smooth, expanded exhale. And if you exhale more than you inhale, you'll actually turn on your relaxation response, your parasympathetic nervous system. Good. All right, to start off, we're just going to be nice and easy. So draw your right arm out to the right and flip your palm up towards the ceiling. And notice how that opens the shoulder joint. Look away from the extended arm and then take your chin to your shoulder. Take a nice deep breath. So from here, we're going to pull the elbow in towards the ribs. Relax the arm, coming back to the center. Other side, reaching that arm out. Flip the palm up, look away from the extended arm. Breathe deep. Shoulder opening, dropping the arm. And look back to the center and take a nice deep breath in and out of the nose. All right, we're going to come off the block for a little bit and lie onto your belly. So we're going to start with the arms expanded out to either side. Gently roll to your right. And come back to your belly. Keep breathing. Extend your left arm out and roll to the left. Back onto your belly. Now we're going to do the same exercise with bent elbows. Make sure they're bent to a 90-degree angle, and that you keep that 90-degree angle as you roll to your side. Make sure you don't overstretch, that you just get to a point where you feel like things are releasing. You don't have to do any particular thing with your legs either. They are just going to assist you as you're rolling to the left now on the side. And come on back to belly. Take your hands on either side of your waist. And push back. Exactly. All right, let's okay, let's go into this next little exercise, and we're going to do this perhaps from a down dog. I'm going to give you 2 positions to use, and kind of depends on where you're at in the shoulder strength game, which one you choose. So the first one, you could be on your hands and knees and extending your arms forward like a down dog, and kind of pushing back into a down dog. Or you could tuck your toes under and go ahead and come into that down dog. Now, a couple of things in your down dog. So before we begin, just look up here, and these 2 instructions are going to open your shoulder rather than close your shoulder. So I see a lot of people going into a downward dog and they're squeezing their shoulders into their neck, which actually puts a lot of pressure on the neck and closes the shoulder joint. But we want a nice open shoulder joint. So here's how we do that. We're going to take your shoulders, and what they're going to do is they're going to get wider. And how you make them wider is either to think, I'm going to make them spread apart, or you can think, well, if I take my shoulder blade, I'm going to slide it down towards the waist, that opens the shoulder joint. So that's the first instruction. And then the next one is that we're going to take the crease of the elbow or the eye of the elbow and rotate it forward. So first, slide the shoulder blade toward the waist, and then the elbow crease rotates forward. All right, now we're ready for our down dog. So come on in. All right, now here's the game. We have to keep those shoulder blades sliding down towards the waist and the shoulder joint open. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on this open shoulder position in the strongest position we can get into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to slide it back an inch. And I'm going to check in with my right shoulder. Was I able to keep the shoulder rotating outward? Yes. Okay, great. I'm going to take the hand back a little bit more. If the answer was no, then I want you to place your shoulder or inch your hand forward until your shoulder can remain open. You're going to hold that position. But let's say you've been doing this for a while. You might take your hand back pretty far or even lift it. But you have to keep that shoulder open. That's the game. So put your left hand down on the floor. I'm going to turn to the side for this next side so you can see a different angle. And keeping that left shoulder open and drawing that right hand back a little bit. I'm going to keep that shoulder open, draw it back a little bit, keep that shoulder open. Oh, if the shoulder closed a little bit, I'm going to take the hand back to where I can keep that shoulder open. And that's where you build strength. So it's not about how far you can go today. It's about where do I need to be to build the strength. The shoulder is a little less strong in external rotation. So I'm going to keep my hand here today. All right, I'm going to set my knees down and come out, give my shoulders a little break, rolling around a little bit. And I'm going to go into this again. I'm going to do this each side one more time. So coming into your downward dog. Shoulder blades slide down towards the waist and the crease of the elbow rotates forward. I'm going to do my right side first. So right shoulder stays open, sliding back with that left hand as far as you can, keeping that shoulder nice and open. And even if you know that you can get into this position, I would go slowly to make sure that shoulder doesn't move. Sometimes a sudden move will reposition the shoulder into a position you don't want. Let's switch to the other side. Shoulder blades slide down, crease of the elbow forward. Here we go with this other hand, exploring where Can I go? And sometimes the second round is a little different. Sometimes you build some strength in that first round. That. Yeah. Open up quite nicely. All right, let's place that hand down on the floor and gently come out. When you take a breath, when you come out, always lift your chest. Let's take the heart rate down a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna grab a block. Actually, I'm gonna grab 2 blocks. And I'm just gonna stand up on my knees, but you can stand up on your feet, especially if your knees are a little sore on the ground. You don't want to tolerate that. So I'm gonna put one of them between my elbows, and I'm gonna put one of them between my hands. And what I wanna do is, again, I want my shoulder blades to drop down towards my waist, my elbows to lift. And what I'm gonna do is squeeze this block between my elbows and pull this second block into, imagine ripping it in half, down the center. So I'm gonna squeeze and pull. Chest up, shoulder blades down, squeeze and pull. Breathe. Slow, smooth breath. Chest lifted, shoulder blades down, elbows up, pull the block into. Tilt your head over to the right. Oh, this is a good neck stretch. So tilt the head to the right, squeeze and pull. Keep squeezing and pulling, chest lifted, shoulder blades slide down. Switch that neck over to the other side. Chest lifted, shoulder blades down, squeeze and pull. One more breath. And then slowly, gently release. Release. And roll the shoulders. And if you're standing, or if you're standing up on your knees like I am, take your head over your hips and notice how your shoulders hang nicely off your skeleton. Again, kind of the name of the game. We want shoulders that are strong and support like a really good posture where you never have to squeeze back. All right, now we're going to do a little mobility exercise. So we're going to take up a block. We're going to take 2 blocks actually. And if you're using a mat, what I would like you to do is kind of align the blocks to the 2 front corners of the mat. And if you're not using a mat, then imagine that you are, and place the blocks where you think your mat would be. And we're going to come into this kind of like a down dog on the hands and knees. So I want you to inch your knees back. And from here, what we're going to do is, again, widen the shoulders, or slide the blades down towards the waist. And then we're going to come into a position where you can touch your chin. You're aiming for touching the heart toward the floor. Straightening the elbows, gently pressing down through the palm. Now, if you press your palm into the block, that's going to help lift you up. Give you a little rest. And again, coming back into the position. Heart to the floor. Deep breath. Exhale, press, lift up. And one more. Back in, heart toward the floor. Slowly, gently come out and walk your knees up. A little shoulder soothing. You can take your arm around or roll your shoulders. I like to do this. Gets the joint fluid moving. So it feels nice. And come seated. Come seated. So I've done a few of these strength exercises. I'm gonna grab my yoga strap. Let's see. Where did the thing go? I just had it in my hand. It's right here. So here's the exercise. So get this nice long yoga strap, and if you don't have a yoga strap, you might have like a long scarf or a long belt that you could use. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this in my right hand. I'm gonna place this right hand on my right shoulder blade, squeezing the elbow in towards the ear and relaxing the shoulder. With this hand here, I'm gonna naturally grab. I'm not gonna maneuver to try to get my fingertips to touch, because right here, I don't even want them to touch. I wanna do a little pull. So I'm gonna pull up and down at the same time. And I'm relaxing kind of back into my hand, kind of nuzzling my right ear against my right elbow. I'm gonna turn around to the front so I can smile with you. Take a nice breath. And slowly release and bring this around to the other side. Pulling up and down at the same time. Lifted chest. One more breath here on this side. Inhale to lift and then relax. And then you can go off to the side, and then have another seat. So as you're sitting, again, noticing how when you align your head over your hips, it allows you to lift your chest. The shoulder naturally opens. So again, you don't have to squeeze in the back. Keeping nice and lifted. Right, let's relax the neck a little bit. Tilt your head slowly, gently to the right. Don't let that shoulder come up with you. Lifting the chin, and then over to this other side. Keep this blade down. And then we'll lift. And then turn to the right as far as you can. And turn to the center and over to the other side. Well, somebody asked me the other day, oh, should I just do neck rolls? Turn back to the center. And I said, no, because the thing is that the discs can move around in the neck, and there are a couple of positions in the neck roll that can kind of make it a little janky. The discs between the vertebrae and the neck. So this lateral, or this like one movement at a time and then back to the center is a lot safer. All right, we're gonna have a seat flat on the floor. These over to the side. And then we're gonna take a palm onto the floor with your fingertips facing inward. And we're just gonna sit on a palm just like that. Just sit on your hand, literally. And then the other hand comes up and over, and we're gonna tilt. We're gonna tilt. I want you to take the shoulder and notice if it's kind of closing here. And if it is, just let it open up a little bit. And if you want more, you get more by pushing your palm into the floor a little bit. You might not need more. If you don't need more, you don't need to push your palm. All right, now we take the hand to the suboccipital notch and look at your left knee. So it's this little bottom of the skull piece to the right below that right ear. Now looking straight down, hand to the back of the head. And we're going to take the heel of the hand and push the forehead up to neutral. So then you don't even have to work your neck there. All right, here we are, the other side. Sitting on your palm, palm down, fingers turned toward the midline. And relax. Gently looking at your right knee, right hand to that left suboccipital notch. Deep breathing. And then looking straight down, hand to the occiput. Hand to the forehead, push the forehead up. Gently take another breath. And notice your seated posture. Your shoulders might be a little naturally more open now. As always, it's a pleasure practicing with you in the morning, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another movement practice. Please lie down for a moment, close your eyes in a seated position, or put your legs on the wall. Find